Hi, my name is Manolo Jaramillo, and this is the video I need to make to showcase my project so far. I was able to make a breakthrough and get it to work, so here we are. So as you can see, I have the sprite renderer, the death script, the death destroy script, the damage dealer script, the ship controller script, the ship pawn script, health, rigid body, polygon collider. For these, I'm only gonna showcase the death destroy, the damage dealer, and the health in this. However, I also have the circle collider for the meteor, since, well, it's roughly circle shaped. I also have I should have my asteroid script here, but it's not here right now just because there's some troubleshooting to be done and it's not exactly vital to this current coding instance. So let's look at these scripts. So as you can see, the meteor has 0 health by default, which means the moment it's given an update, it dies. However, if I add a health value of 1, it'll do essentially the same thing, but it won't allow for a compilation issue or any sort of bug if it does end up going below 0. So let's open the reference. Okay, cut now. Okay, so let's look at the damage dealer script real quick. Okay, so for the damage dealer script, we can see that it requires the component of a 2D collider, as well as the rigid body and the public class damage dealer mono behavior, right? So it uses the header of the damage settings, essentially just telling us, hey, these are the damage settings. The default damage value is 10. We get all this. And let's move on to the death script. Okay, and here's the death script. It's a very straightforward script. It essentially just gets the class and says, hey, die, and once it dies, destroy the game object, right? So the code for the death destroy is essentially the exact same. However, because of the code involved in health, for some reason they don't work without each other. With our health script, we can see that gets the current health right here, private float current health, and it serializes the field for the max health as well. And then it takes it, and when it says, hey, it is awake, and it starts at max health, right? And sets the current health to the max health. It updates public void, take damage, float damage, and it subtracts the damage from the current health. If the current health is less than or equal to 0, that means I die, right? Public float, take damage, all of this essentially just says, hey, give points when dealing damage. It essentially wants to send a message that says, hey, I did this damage to this object. We also have the healing aspect, so it has current health, and it adds the heal amount. If the current health is greater than max health, the current health is set to max health, right? And then for dying, it just gets the death component right here. And then if the death component null, death component die. Essentially just saying, hey, we die if we die, right? If there's no death component, it will give a warning that it has no death component, which is why the death and the death destroy don't work without each other, because if I only had the death destroy, it would give a warning message saying that it doesn't actually have a death component. If I only had a death component, it would do the exact same. So there's that. And that essentially goes for everything that involves these scripts, including the space meteor. And the colliders are set to triggers, which allows it to actually deal damage and whatnot, as well as the rigid bodies are set, they're simulated. The body types are dynamic, but we also have a gravity scale of 0, which allows our ships and our objects to float in the game. So I'm going to start it, and we'll be back. Okay, so as it's finally done loading, I can showcase the death and whatnot. So obviously this computer isn't the fastest, so it's kind of hard to like show you without it lagging, but here we go. We get close, boom, we touch each other, we die, right? Usually in the game it would like your ship would start flashing and whatnot, and you'd be vulnerable to damage. We're not quite there yet. Also, the asteroids would have like split, but of course that can't happen because it hasn't been coded in yet. But yeah, I apologize for the longer video, but I did feel the need to explain all of that in a little bit more extensive detail, because I mean, I'm really proud of the code, you know? So yeah, thank you.